here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to Hour 2 of the Todd Huff Show. By the way, I should point out, Hour number 1 is available on, as a podcast. Simply search iTunes or wherever it is that you listen, the Apple Podcast Store, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, you simply search Todd Huff Show, and poof, there we will be found. Also on Facebook, facebook.com/Todd Huff Show, as long as Facebook allows it, which I'm 50-50 that they are not going to allow this for much longer. But anyway, it's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. So, we've been talking here about the convention. I said last hour that Republicans showed Democrats how to produce one of these things because the Democrat production was awful last week. I mean, truly terrible and awful. Awkward pauses, people smiling at the camera for many seconds before they even realized that they were on. The timing of this, I don't know what was going on last week. And see, normally this is where the Democrats excel. Normally the Democrats excel when it comes to the production value. In fact, they have to produce so well to cover up the fact that there are no ideas. And when I say this, again, I'm talking about party leadership. I'm talking about those who determine the direction the party's going, or those who are promoting certain policies, those who are letting cities burn to the ground, that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about rank and file Democrats. I'm saying that normally, we have this situation where Democrats don't have any ideas, but they can make the fact that they have no ideas sound really good. This is what, to people who, not people like us, not people who analyze and listen to what they are really saying, or the people who dig into the real messaging here, not just the superficial nonsense, but what's really being said beneath the surface. What's the intention? What's the motivation? What are they really getting at? So, but normally this is where the Democrats excel. They can make something really bad look much better. Not last week. They took something that was already really bad and possibly made it look worse. That may be the first time I'm aware of the Democrats doing this. But of course, this is the path they're on. I mean, they've got an uninspiring candidate who chose a vice presidential running mate simply because of her race and her gender. And then he was told we'd been told by him that had nothing to do with why he picked her. He picked a woman because 51% of America 51% of America are women. So there you go. That's why he picked a vice president. Seems to me, as I'm watching Karl Rove here on Fox hold up his patented whiteboard, but it seems to me that if 51% of women, or if America is 51% women, I think I think Biden should hand over the keys to the presidency to Kamala. That seems fairer to me. But we have to listen to all this nonsense and silly rhetoric and just stupid stuff in the wake of the Democrat convention, or during the Democrat convention. Last night, the Republicans kind of came out, I think, both guns ablazing. I think it's good to paint the picture of what President Trump has helped usher into this country. And again, I want to make it clear as a conservative, President Trump does not make people wealthy. Now, when we're communicating about this quickly, people will say President Trump created these jobs. That's not entirely what happened. But still, what happens is President Trump has created an environment in our government that makes people the real job producers, which President Trump was a job producer when he was in the private sector. Government doesn't produce jobs. Government can only do things that influences people's willingness to produce jobs, to engage in economic activity, to feel comfortable taking risks in their businesses, which of course can pay off dramatically, create wealth for people, create new products and services, helping people improve their lives. That's what a government can do, and that's what we've witnessed over these past nearly 4 years now. And you contrast that with what the Democrats did. Remember when the Biden-Obama administration was in power? Remember this? We had what they called the new normal. The new normal was that GDP was only going to grow like 1% or some silly thing. And now that's not discussed anymore because we have unleashed the power of the American economy. And all we did, you think about this, it's a remarkable thing. All we did was get government out of the way. All we did was let people keep more of their hard-earned money. All we did was change the mindset that said people get to keep what they earn. They don't owe it to the government first and foremost. It's a novel concept. You have to fight this constantly because the people who go and are attracted to positions of power in our government, they believe that they've got all the answers to your problems. If you just give them more power, more authority, more control, more of your money, they would fix it. They would fix it all. They can make it a more equal world for you to live in. They can make it so that you won't get COVID, God forbid. They make promises like this. Biden's going to cure cancer. It's one of my favorite examples I go to a lot because I'm telling you, it is an incredible thing. It's just incredible to witness this stuff, right? It's incredible to see this contrast between our parties and between the vision. I'm watching here again. I got Fox in the background. There were hostages that were released that Trump sat down with yesterday. Shared, that was shared with the American people as well. It's an inspiring vision for this country. Getting government out of our lives. I'm not saying no government. No one's calling for that. But we're saying for limited government. It may come as a surprise to some people, but government doesn't care more about you than you do. In fact, remember Rahm Emanuel tweeted that Biden cares more about you than you. That is a violation of the laws of human nature, folks. Biden does not care more about you than you care about you. That sounds good. This guy's going to help me. This guy's going to do something to make my life better. He's going to take something, even though folks don't think of it like this, he's going to take something from someone who has more and give it to me, and that's going to fix all of my problems. When in reality, what's going to fix people's problems the fastest and the best way to fix your problem is to realize that the person staring back in the mirror, to have these conversations with myself sometimes, I'm responsible for me. Right? I mean, this is just the truth of the matter. Not everyone else's fault. Sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes people do things that are harmful. I'm not going to deny that. But the idea that every second of every day I'm under the heavy hand of someone else, or that someone else is unable to accomplish something because of the actions of another person who has no control over them, it's just not a healthy way of looking at it. Now, if it's your government, which is something that is so massive that it can control every aspect of your life, they put their tentacles into every sort of thing, from whether or not you can sing at church, Gavin Newsom would say, to, what you do in the privacy of your own home, where how much you have to get paid to work, minimum wage laws. Some people don't understand that minimum wage laws don't actually do anything but hurt people who are trying to get entry-level jobs. Most people are paid much more than minimum wage. That's the it's almost everybody. It's 90-some%. I don't have the number in front of me, but you look at these things and you realize that there are two competing visions. One that's been cast by Trump and the Republicans and will continue to be cast, and another that's cast by Biden and the Democrats, with grandiose promises, speaking on emotional levels, giving us no context, no details on their plans. It's just that they're not Trump. Trump bad, Biden good. Actually, it's not even Biden good. It's Trump bad, Biden not Trump. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That was their convention. Trump is bad, Biden's not Trump. Hashtag settle for Biden. That's effectively their campaign. Compare and contrast that to what we've seen here. And I'm going to play a soundbite next segment from Herschel Walker. I don't know if you know who Herschel Walker is. I love Herschel Walker. See, I used to watch the NFL. You know, they used to take pride in their nation, understand that they've been given incredible privilege. They've been blessed by God with amazing talents and athletic ability. And yes, they worked hard, and yes, they did played their part, but a lot of those folks are blessed with, just off the charts athleticism and abilities. And now it's more along the lines of, they're almost, I don't know. They act like, there's a lot of problems there. Let's just say that for now. That's not the point. I'm just saying that Herschel Walker, as a kid, I remember watching this guy. He was an awesome, dominant football player. Big, fast, strong. Turns out that not only was he an awesome and dominant football player, this guy is a class act of a human being. A tremendous human being. A good person. He's a Christian. He treats people well. This guy's in his 50s, and he's MMA. I've seen him training and fighting in MMA. He looks like, he's in better shape than most 20-year-olds or whatever. He's just a phenomenal, he's a physical specimen. The guy was awesome at football. Awesome athlete. Good man, but he has some things to talk. He's been friends with Trump. Trump, of course, was involved with the USFL, which is where Herschel Walker, before he became a Dallas Cowboy and a Minnesota Viking in the NFL, he played in the USFL. So he shared some information about Trump, and I want to play his speech. Last hour I played Jim Jordan's speech. Herschel Walker's speech, I'm telling you, if you've not heard this, it's good stuff, especially if you listen to his words and you share it. Just share it with people, if they haven't heard it, who think that Trump is this evil, racist, terrible human being. Herschel Walker has some words to say about that and about the character of President Donald Trump, which I know some people just don't even want to hear. They have him painted in their minds to be basically the second coming of Adolf Hitler. So we want to play this. I want to play this next segment. But again, we have what's been cast before us is two diametrically opposed worldviews. One that believes that the government knows best. One that believes that your problems are one vote, one tax away from being solved because Democrats, if they are elected, can solve all of your problems. And on the other hand, you've got Republicans, the Republican convention, telling you effectively that this nation was founded upon great ideas and principles, that America is an exceptional place, not because of our DNA, but because of our ideas. And those ideas apply to all people, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, any of these things, because they speak to how we were created by God. And that being in control of our own lives leads not only to the most happiness, but it also leads to the most opportunity and ultimately the most prosperity. Yes, there will be people who fail, but failure is an event, not a person. And I'll say this as well. Many people who have failed in the past have overcome those, learned from those failures, and become tremendous successes. Failure is on the path to success. It's part of it. The left wants to insulate us from failure and subsidize failure, and that prevents people. I have so many thoughts to share about that, but I don't want to do that just yet because I got to take a break and I want to play that Herschel Walker interview. But suffice it to say that we learn from our failures and we come back better and stronger and can do things we can accomplish, we can overcome. Failure is temporary. Failure is an event. Failure is not a person. Failure is if we change the system from what it was to something that's more utopian-like, something that's more focused on a bigger centralized government, something that takes away your liberties, something that increases the tax burden, increases the government's expense. That's what's failure. That's what failure is. And I've got to take a break, come back and share that soundbite, this short speech by Herschel Walker, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Do that after the break. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
Our partner, Global Plasma Solutions, has published ionization testing results that demonstrate a 99.4% reduction rate on a SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 surface strain within 30 minutes. This is the first instance that an air purification company has effectively neutralized SARS-CoV-2. Commercial Service Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is installing this solution in businesses and homes in South Central Indiana. Get your free information kit at commercialservice.com/info. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Indy Decorative Concrete is hiring immediately. They're looking for workers with experience finishing concrete. Pay is $25 to $30 per hour with weekly overtime. All jobs are located within the city of Indianapolis. Call 317-784-1464 or apply in person at their offices located at 8366 Brookville Road, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46239. They're open Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, visit their website, www.indydecorativeconcrete.com. www.indydecorativeconcrete.com.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Welcome back. I tell you, I watch during the break. I read, I should say, some of these opinions from the left on yesterday's convention, night number 1. And it's just remarkable to me. I'm just going to read a little bit here, and we'll get to Herschel Walker in a moment. But this caught my attention during the break. Here's what it says. It says, in Donald Trump's world, his swift action confronting the coronavirus was enough to save millions of lives. He's a compassionate leader, a family man, known for his empathy and diplomacy. And the country's biggest national crisis isn't a deadly pandemic, but an epidemic of cancel culture sweeping the nation. I'm not really sure that's what anyone said. But regardless, this is the New York Times, and they don't live in reality. On the first night of the Republican National Convention, Americans got a glimpse of Mr. Trump's augmented reality, and it seemed pretty detached from, well, actual reality. See, funny thing is, that's what I thought about the Biden convention. I mean, Biden is America's first virtual candidate. Reality is not in the cards for the Biden campaign. But nonetheless, the New York Times finds that President Trump and his party's first night of the convention was void of actual reality. Here's what they continue to write. Back in the real world, which of course the New York Times telling us about the real world is astonishing to me. The New York Times wouldn't know the real world if it smacked it up the side of the head. But nonetheless, the New York Times tells us here, back in the real world, nearly 1,000 Americans die of the coronavirus daily. Unemployment claims are back up 1.1 million in a week. The country's reckoning with police brutality continues. On Sunday, Jacob Blake, a black man, which they did capitalize here because you're supposed to capitalize black and not white, according to the AP, what the AP style guide tells you. A black man in Wisconsin was shot in the back multiple times by the police in front of his children, and the New York Attorney General is investigating Mr. Trump's private business for fraud. That's the real world according to the New York Times, which I don't dispute some of that. But the other thing is to act as though Trump is living in a fantasy world while Biden is living firmly with both feet planted in reality is simply not the case. So what I want to do here, I'm going to play this soundbite from the speech from Herschel Walker, former NFL superstar. I want to play this. I want you to listen to how he describes President Trump. I want you to listen to the words he uses to describe the type of man President Trump is. And I want you to ask yourself if the world that we're painted, the man that's painted by the New York Times, Mr. Trump, President Trump, if they are living in reality, because it doesn't jibe with what I'm being told here by Herschel Walker about the type of man Donald Trump is. So I want you to listen to this. It's about a 3-minute speech. I think it's worth listening to. I think it's really good. Herschel Walker talking about President Trump last night.
I'm not an actor, a singer, or a politician. I'm Herschel Walker. Most of you know me as a football player, but I'm also a father, a man of faith, and a very good judge of character. I've known Donald Trump for 37 years, and I don't mean just casual ran into him from time to time. I'm talking about a deep personal friendship. I watched him as an owner of a professional football team. Right after he bought the team, he set out to learn. He learned about the history of the team, the players, the coaches, every detail. Then he used what he learned to make the team better. I watched him in the boardroom. He can be in the middle of a big meeting, but if one of the kids was on the phone, he dropped everything to take the call. He taught me that the family should be your top priority. I watched him treat janitors, security guards, and waiters the same way he would treat a VIP. He made them feel special because he knew they were. He understands that they are the people who make this country run. They clean, they cook, they build, they drive, they deliver. He told me, Herschel, make an effort to get to know people. Remember their names. That stuck with me. One time, I planned to take his kids to Disney World with my family. At the last minute, Donald said he'd like to join us. So there he was, in a business suit, on It's a Small World ride. That was something to see. It just shows you what a caring, loving father he is. It hurt my soul to hear the terrible names that people call Donald. The worst one is racist. I take it as a personal insult that people would think I've had a 37-year friendship with a racist. People who think that don't know what they're talking about. Growing up in the Deep South, I've seen racism up close. I know what it is, and it isn't Donald Trump. Just because someone loves and respects the flag, our national anthem, and our country, doesn't mean they don't care about social justice. I care about all those things. So does Donald Trump. He shows how much he cares about social justice in the black community through his actions. And his action speaks loud. Stickers or slogans on a jersey. He keeps right on fighting to improve the lives of black Americans and all Americans. He works night and day. He never stops. He leaves nothing on the field. Some people don't like his style, the way he knocks down obstacles that get in the way of his goals. People on the opposing team didn't like when I ran over them either. But that's how you get the job done. I pray every night that God gives him more time. Give him 4 more years. He has accomplished so much almost all by himself on a constant attack. But there's still more work to be done. If you love America and want to make it better, Donald Trump is your president. He's my president, and I'm blessed to call him friend.
Okay, that's Herschel Walker describing a President Trump that we're told is not the true man. Herschel Walker says he's been personal friends with him for 37 years, I think he said. He said it's not a casual acquaintance. We're personal friends. We know each other well. We've been to Disney World together. He rode It's a Small World in his business suit, which that would have been a sight to see, by the way. Can you imagine that? We went to Disney. I don't like to admit this, given Disney's craziness on the political front, but we went to Disney here a couple of years ago. I don't know if we did. I don't think we did Small World. I don't remember. Anyway, I know what It's a Small World is because I've been to Disney as a kid, and I'm just envisioning President Trump getting on that ride in his suit. Herschel Walker had seen that in person. Herschel Walker has seen President Trump take phone calls from his children in the middle of important meetings. Now, Biden's granddaughters told us he was taking phone calls as he was speaking. Biden's up on stage, granddaughter calls. I mean, maybe Biden's at the, United Nations, or he's giving a big speech for Senate Democrats or some such thing, and he gets a phone call, and he grabs it and talks to his granddaughters for 10 or 15 minutes. That's what they said. But now we know President Trump takes the calls too. So if if there's voters out there that are basing their decision on which candidate to vote for, based upon whether or not they take calls from loved ones during important meetings and speeches, I mean, it's a wash now. Herschel Walker can attest to the fact that Trump takes these phone calls. So if that's something that is important to the voter, we got to cross that one out because both of them apparently do this. But it's just, in all seriousness now, it's remarkable that we have allowed as a culture, as a country, for a man's personal character to be, and look, and I'm not saying President Trump is perfect, but I'm saying President Trump is not the devil. Like, that's just silly talk. That is not being fair-minded. That is not being intellectually honest. He has done things, or let's say alleged to have done things. Let's say that instead. He's alleged to have done things that, are not good. Things that I've, mentioned on this program before and spoken out against. But to say he has done nothing good, to say that he's a terrible human being at all times in his private life, as they do, literally, as they do on a daily basis, is not reality either. We don't need people to seriously tell us that Trump is not a fascist or that Trump is not a racist. The only time Trump became a racist in his 72 or whatever he is, 72, 73 years of life on earth is when he decided to run for president of the United States as a Republican. Then suddenly he became racist. And we've let them get away with this. Do you think the New York Times knows the character of Trump better, or does Herschel Walker? To me, it's an easy no-brainer, because the New York Times is, of course, the only time they see this guy is when he's up on the, at the podium, and he's assaulting them, and they get their panties in a bunch, their feelings hurt, and this is their perspective. Plus, he's politically the antithesis of what they want. They don't want a Joe Biden, but they want someone who wants more government. They want someone that's not a conservative, that's not a constitutional conservative, that's not a Republican. And there's lots of reasons for that, but Anyway, I think Herschel Walker did a good job last night with his speech. So, more to say. We got to take a time out here. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Welcome back. Sorry, I've just been thinking here during the break about Trump getting on this ride. Getting on the ride with Herschel Walker with Trump's kids and Disney World. It's a small world after all. Reminded me of the song. It's a small world after all. I'm just picturing Trump as this is playing in the background. In his suit. I can hear him saying, "It's a beautiful ride. Great song. Greatest song in the history of songs. Love this ride. It's a small world after all." My world's small. Because I'm so fantastic. I've accomplished so much. I mean, it's remarkable you think about this. Just to think about President Trump riding this ride. It just simply entertained me during the break. But anyway, President Trump, Herschel Walker says, rode. And I'm not doubting. I just find this humorous to picture President Trump. He's what, like 6? I know there's arguments. You see things on social media to say President Trump's really only 6 whatever, but he's listed at 6'3". 6'3", he's in a suit, climbs in the boat for It's a Small World, listening to this to this music. I just think it's fantastic. And I believe it, by the way. I do believe it. And, you know, these things matter to voters. These things matter. It doesn't matter to the base. The base is 100%. Well, what is it? 90-some percent. 96% of Republicans approve of Trump. It's remarkable numbers. Numbers that we haven't seen really, I don't think ever. I don't even think Reagan's numbers got to that. But President Trump has the base. But, you know, people want to know. You have to remind people that you're human. Right? You have to remind people that you are not just the guy that goes to the podium. Some of us love that. I do. I love that. I love when I see President Trump up there at the podium. I've shared the story when I was at the NRA convention here in Indianapolis back, I don't remember when that was. Was that last summer? I don't even remember. But anyway, I got a press pass. First time I'd ever had a press pass. I don't consider myself, by the way, press. But they give it to people like me, a pass, and I went, and I was in the press pool, I guess you could say. And when President Trump spoke at the NRA convention, I loved it. It was the highlight of the event for me. When he stood at that podium and he kind of leaned into the podium and he pointed, people in the media, bad people. Some of them good, some of them good. I'm over there laughing. But it was interesting to feel the president. I mean, you could feel it. The president of the United States leaning on that podium, pointing at the group. And, of course, he wasn't talking to me because I was one that, of course, was one of the good ones. I'm not even part of the media. I just had a press pass because I have a talk radio show, talk show. And so anyway, but he points to us. You could feel that. Like, you could feel that energy. You could feel the eyes. And I've said before, I never felt at one moment in any danger from those in the audience. Some people in the media act as though, like, the Jim Acostas of the world. I don't know if he specifically made this comment before, but he makes comments that are as stupid as this. Like, telling folks how endangered he feels by having all the people at the convention, probably, I don't know, many thousands, booing you. Oh, man. But I thought it was funny. It's all done, like, it's serious. They don't like the media, but it's also a bit of a game. It's not like they're going to go storm the media pit or the press pit and start beating people up. It's just they're voicing their disdain, their unhappiness with the way that the media covers stuff. But that's the Trump that they, many of us love. We love to see that. I love it. I'm telling you, the best television you can watch is when they let Trump do a rally. I mean, I literally watch these things this is what I do for a living, talk about this stuff, but just as entertainment. Turn that thing on and I watch it, and it entertains me. But that's some people don't like that, though. Some people are offended by that. Some people think that that's whatever, unpresidential. I get it. I mean, whatever. We're all different. And some people like the personal side. They like to hear that this person's a human. They like to find that this person can connect with, they can relate to this person. They want to know that. And so you hear these stories told by Herschel Walker or even the story by Jim Jordan, and it humanizes President Trump. I'm telling you, too, that these stories, they're true stories. They're real. This is the kind of, you hear these stories, you see multiple examples of President Trump where he's been, just encounters he's had from Secret Service to, some of these stories that we've been told here regarding family members of people in Congress, or in the case of Herschel Walker, his family, people who have encountered and gotten to know the President Trump that most people don't get to meet. I mean, he has to put on that metaphorical suit of Kevlar to go out there every day to deal with the arrows and the hatred from the media and the press. And he has to deal with that a certain way, and he's pretty darn good at it, if you ask me. But sometimes that makes people have a difficult time connecting personally because you don't see that side. There's not the soft human, just the just kind of the gentle side. You don't see that because he's in fight mode. And I understand why he's in fight mode, because the media is in fight mode all the time. They're in misrepresenting mode on a regular basis. So anyway, it's good to hear stories like this. Again, none of these things should be a reason. They should supplement the reasons for voting for a president. I'm okay with that, but it shouldn't be the reason. It shouldn't be Trump takes phone calls or Biden takes phone calls from his family during important meetings. Like, that shouldn't be the reason. But it also shows to some degree the type of person that individual is, how they treat their family, what the people closest to them have to say about who they are and the way that they've impacted their lives, the love and devotion, commitment, those sorts of things that they've exhibited. It's important to see that, but ideas are still the most important thing. These things should supplement maybe someone's choice. It shouldn't be a contest over who, texts their children the most or some silly thing like that. So anyway, that being said, time for another time out here. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Welcome back. So, Republicans, and I've seen this several times, the headline is Republicans tout President Trump as the pro-America candidate. Of course, Democrats don't like this, but here's my question. Are there not reasons to say that, to at least bring questions to the minds of voters as to whether or not some of these folks doing some of the things they do in the Democrat Party, does it not raise questions about how much they love America? I mean, again, you go back to this whole anthem thing, which now in the NBA, which I am not watching, I do not care. I saw the Pacers were playing. I don't even know they may be done. I don't care. I do not care. These guys can believe whatever they want. They can vote for Biden and all just straight Democrat for the rest of their lives. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I'd like to persuade them. I'd like to have a chance to explain why that's ludicrous, but that's fine. I just don't want it shoved down my throat. I don't want it done in such a way where a couple of years ago, people were arguing whether or not Kaepernick, and of course he was NFL, but this applies really to all sports now. Kaepernick, whether or not he could kneel. Now we're basically asking if people can stand during the national anthem. It's crazy talk. My question is, how do you kneel during the anthem? I understand that there's America's not perfect. I get that. I understand that. I think there's problems with America too. I think that, for example, killing unborn babies is atrocious, but it would not occur to me that to voice those concerns that I should kneel during the anthem. I just don't understand the relation there. Then they tell us, it's not about the anthem. Okay. Well, then what is it about? It's about the issue. Then why are you doing it during the anthem? It's like, I don't know. There's a time and place for things, right? And I think that they want it both ways. But you see this behavior, and you have to ask yourself, would someone it's a fair question. I'm not leveling the accusation. I think some absolutely do not love America. But I'm not leveling the accusation carte blanche against everybody. I'm simply saying, if you're kneeling during the anthem, is it not a fair question to say, what is it? What are you, what is that all, can you really, is that a behavior you can engage in and still truly love this country? Is it not fair to at least ask the question? Are we bad for wondering that? I don't know how. Maybe you decide, no, I can see it's totally, you don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do it, but that's just one example. That's the biggest example, I think, the most front and center example. But you listen to how they, the Democrat Party talks about American principles and ideas. I was proud to see that one of the nights, maybe not one of the nights, but it's actually one of the things in Trump's agenda for the next election is that he's going to talk about American exceptionalism. Good. America is exceptional. America is a beacon of light and hope for this world. We need to talk about that. We have people who say things about this country that demonstrates their hatred for this place. And you can say that, I've said it on here. Slavery is atrocious. The founders made a terrible mistake. You could say that they had to do it to get the unity of everyone to sign on and agree to be a part of this union. I understand that, but it's still atrocious and terrible and evil. And I'm saying you can still say that and say that this country is still a very special place because they also got a lot right. They got a lot right. But that's not the feeling you get from the Democrats. It's just simply not. And they get upset that Trump's being painted as the pro-America candidate. But I'm just telling you, in a sane world, that is clearly the contrast that we see. And I've got to take a break. Come back and wrap up here for the day. Sit tight. Be back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Welcome back. So night number 1 in the books for the Republican National Convention. Night 2, of course, is tonight. President Trump will be making appearances all throughout the week. And, of course, will be the convention will culminate with his speech on Thursday. Folks, we are just now kicking off the beginning of this campaign. I mean, the official beginning of the campaign. And so buckle up. As I've said before, we've got a bumpy ride ahead of us because this is going to be more contentious than 2016. They see what's at stake. Both sides of this see what's at stake. It is a battle for the direction of this nation. Fundamental changes are at risk here if Democrats are elected. They want to change our economy. They want to take more control of every aspect of your life. Some freedoms are certainly under assault, from religious liberty to the freedom of the Second Amendment that's been granted by God, by the way, not by the government, but nonetheless. This is what this election's about. I've got to go. See you tomorrow. SDG. Take care.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't